Hello, everyone, and welcome to another technical live stream here at the Wized channel. Today, we are continuing building the Wized community forum that we are building in this live stream series. I think that today it's the 6th or 7th installment. I forgot already, but we are continuing doing this project where we are building a community forum from scratch using Webflow, Wized, and Supabase. We're building everything. There was a blank project in Webflow, a blank project in Supabase, and a blank project in Wized. So if you haven't seen that in the past and you want to see me build things completely from scratch, you just go ahead and check out those videos that we are doing every single Friday. Today, we are continuing from where we left off, which is adding a commenting system for the posts. So every single post can be opened, we can read the contents of it, and also there are comments. We started already in the last live stream rendering those comments, displaying them, but right now there is no way to add comments directly from the UI. So today we're starting with that, and later we're gonna add a voting system, liking system. I don't know exactly yet if we're gonna do just liking and that's it, or upvoting, downvoting. Maybe we can do that as well. I don't know, but we're gonna work on that later. And if we've got enough time, then also we've got a few tricks to do to improve the platform. So before jumping into this, if anybody's joining here today, I wish you had a good week. Thank you for coming. If you're watching this in the future and you just wanna skim through the video, we're gonna put timestamps in the video so you can see me build specifically the parts that you wanna learn. You can skip maybe any Webflow building, any Supabase building, or anything from Wized. Up to you. Just check the timestamps below. So that's it. I think that we are ready to just jump into it and continue building because there's a lot of work to do here. So let's first of all let's take a look at the status of things. So let's share the screen. And so far, we've got all the posts rendering on the main page. We've got the categories. We've got the navigation at the top. We can access our profile. We can sign in. We can sign out. We can edit our profile. We can also navigate through categories to display the specific posts of each category, like that. And then we can open the posts. We can see the content of the post. I know that it's not very beautiful. We can improve that later. And then we can see some comments, but those comments right now are hard-coded in the database. I edit those comments myself, but we want to have the ability to write comments. So we're going to do that. Also, we've got the ability to create new posts. And essentially here, you can select the title, category, you can add some content to it, and you can create. I think that we should improve this UI. It's looking a bit ugly right now. There's one extra thing that I want to do, and it's that when we go to the categories pages, right now there is no button for creating a post. I want to do that. So then when we click on that button and we go to the page post creation page, the category that we were is going to be pre-selected. So essentially, you're creating that post for that category, right? But let's not lose track here. Let's jump into adding the comments. Right now, we already have a request where we are loading the comments. I think that it's when the page. I think that we should add folders. Yeah, I think that just for organizing things, I think that we should start organizing in folders. We've got a request for getting all posts, which is done for the main page, for the dashboard. And then we've got things for the categories. Then we've got things for the page creation, for the post creation. Yep, like that. By the way, it's not conditional, so we should check that. And also we've got the specific post page where we are loading the data from the post. So anytime that we are loading a page that starts with /post, which is the page that we are at right now, we ensure that there's an ID. Otherwise, we send the user to the home page. Then we get the post, and we also get the post comments like that. And that's how we are able to load those comments in here. In the database, we've got a bunch of tables. We've got the posts table where we store all the posts. And then also we've got a comments table where we store who made that comment and the body of the comment and the post for that comment, like that. I think that we should also make sure that we are sorting. Yeah, that we are sorting the comments by creation, because right now I'm not really sure how we're displaying them. I see that we've got the same twice, which is weird. Why are we displaying the same comment twice? We might be into a bug here. Let me see. Let's see the request for a second. Get the post comments, and we are getting. Oh, you know why? Because we are probably hard coding the index. Let me check. So we've got the post comment, we've got the author. Let's see this. The index, that's okay. Let's see the text, the index, that's okay. So probably the body, yeah, look at that, was missing the index. Because if we hard code the index, if it was a 0, it means that it will always pull the data from the 0 item, so the first item. But if we do it like that, now look at that, nice. All right, and let me check for a second. We've got the first post, and then we've got the second post. So it looks like we're pulling them in order. Makes sense. All right, so we're good to go. So let's jump into Webflow and let's add a form to create the post. And I'll not create the post, sorry, create the comment. So I'll literally just copy what we did in the post creating page. This one, post. Because in here, we've got already Quill defined with an ID, and we are injecting Quill in here. So let's do that. 1 second. And then we've got the create and back. All right, let's go here. So we've got the comments. Let's add maybe a divider, for example, like that. You have some spacing, margin bottom, margin medium, and the post comments list. Let's add some margin at the bottom as well. Margin, whoops, margin medium, nice. And down here, we can add the post creation, which I just lost because I just copied another thing. So let's do that. Let's copy this. Let's go back to the post creation page. And let's add it down here. Like that. Let's just check this. We've got a div with the ID of Quill, which is what we're using to target when we initialize Quill. And also, I think that we will have to copy the script from Quill. If you want to see exactly how we load the rich text editor, go ahead and check I think that it's the third live stream video. You're going to see it in the title, where we did exactly this. We built the post creation page where we inject the rich text editor code. All right. Nice. Okay, so we've got this already. Done. Perfect. Let's just publish just in case. But that means that if I reload this, I should now see how the Quill editor element is loaded and it's initialized by Quill. Let's see. Yep. Nice. Cool. Okay, so here we can leave a comment. Now, I'm not really sure if I should add something else. How is this usually done? I'm just always using the defensive forum as a reference because I'm lazy designing. Yeah, maybe something like answer, reply, or something like that. Yeah, let's add something. Maybe we can say we can add here some heading. like that. And we can say reply. Why not? Yeah. This has some margin bottom as well. So let's do that. Margin bottom, margin medium. And I think that that should be fine. But now the thing is that we need to add a button as well to reply. So in here, down below, we should add a button. Let's do a custom element, or we can just copy it from the post creation page. So this button in here, which I am not liking because it should be a button. It shouldn't be a link. It's a button, right? Oh no, it's a form submission. It's a form submission, which is, it makes total sense. Because when we submit this, so we are triggering the request to create a post, and I want to do the same thing, trigger the request to create a comment when submitting a form, not when clicking a button, because it's not reliable and it's not accessible. All right, so let's do a quick fix. Let's go back down here, and this is going to be a form instead of just a div. So let's quickly fix this. Let's add a form like that. The success message, an error message. We can get rid of them because I want to create a notifications system when there are errors, which is something we're going to do in a later live stream. And let's get rid of all of this like that. And let's move things into the form like that. Nice. So here we can identify this like post West post create comment form, something like that. How did we call it in the other page? I want to be consistent. In here, there was create post form. So we could say create comment form, for example. I like it. Yeah, let's do that. And I believe that we don't need any input because when we submit the form, we simply read the contents of Quill Editor and then we inject that in the request. Pretty sure. Yeah. All right, cool. Let me just fix one thing because I really hate that there's no spacing here. I want to fix this. Ah, thank you. Like that. Nice. Maybe even a bit more. 1 RAM. Now let's do 75. Yeah, way better. Okay, so let's go back here. Post. We want this to be called for consistency, create comment form. Nice. And then we are going to add a submit button. I think that it's called form button in Webflow. Yes. Let's add a button here and let's do reply like that. Nice. Maybe we can also add some margin. How did we do? Trying to be consistent. Sorry, guys, for all the back and forth. Right, because this has form. All right, nice. So let's do form as well for consistency. Form underscore form. Great. So we're going to move this back here like that. All right, quite a big. Yeah, let's do this. Now we're talking form buttons. Okay, perfect. I also am going to identify this button. So when we are replying, when we are essentially making the request, we can change the text of this button to say replying. So let's identify this. Let's do Wized create comment submit. Yeah, like that. All right. And I think that we're good to go now. I think. Okay, let's try it out. So we've got this reply. Nice. We've got the create comment form. We don't have the create. Is it published? I should see. Huh. Huh. How is it that it's not finding? Hmm. Create comment form. Oh, sometimes Webflow does this. Let me check. I want to validate if that's a valid error. Sometimes when you add an attribute in Webflow, Webflow decides to not add that attribute. Yeah, look at that. It happened. Webflow, why you do this? We've got the button, but the attribute of Wist, it's empty. I did not tell you to make it empty. Let's copy. Let's do it again. West, create, comment, submit. Come on, give it to me. Webflow. Is it now? Oh yeah. Okay. Thank you, Webflow. All right. So we're gonna look for form submissions on this form. And when that happens, we are going to send a request to create a new comment. So first of all, we need to define the request in here. So posts. Um, I think that in the future, maybe we need to change folders to make it more page specific. But we'll see. We can always rearrange things. But let's create a request. Let's call this create comment, like that. Let's create a folder for that. Let's do comments so we keep things organized. And Supabase, create an item. The table will be comments. And let's go to Supabase. So for the comments, we want to define the user ID. We also want to define a body and a post ID, like that. I believe that we already created an auth policy to only allow users to insert, so to create posts, if the user ID that we are passing is the user ID from the user, because we don't want people to be able to fake creating a post. Like I just sent a request saying that I'm that user ID, but I'm really not that user ID and I'm faking it. We don't want that. And that's why we've got a policy like this in place, right? We added this policy in the previous live stream in case that you're curious. All right, nice. So let's do this. We want the user ID, user ID, and that user ID it's going to come from r.getUser.data. What is this? Hold on. Get user data dot user ID. Let me just copy it directly. Ah, the update is not there yet. Ah, we're gonna push an update maybe today or Monday that it allows you to also copy directly from here by clicking here. I thought that it was in place already. My bad. Let's go back here. All right, so let's open it from here. We want to get it from get user ID, like that. Nice. Okay, what else? We want the body and the post ID. The post ID, we can grab it from the query params because the post page is loaded with an ID query param. So all we need to do is say, all right, so the post ID for where we are posting this comment, it's going to be the n.parameter.id, like that. And then the last thing is that we want to get the body. And to get the body, we need to extract it from Quill.js, from the editor. And we already did that when creating a post. So let's just check how we did it in here. When creating a post, the body, it is coming from the variable v.quill, and then we're getting get semantic HTML. Nice. I'm just going to copy and paste it. Done. like that. Nice. Okay, so if we did it right, now we can set up a form submission on submit. We want to reset the form. Maybe we're going to see it later. Prevent default, and then absolutely perform a request, create a comment like that. I think that we're good now. And then the last thing is that this button in here, which is not a button, it's an input. I want to change the value of it from r.get create coming is requesting. If it's requesting, then we're going to say replying. Otherwise, we're going to see reply like that. So while the request is happening, it will say replying like that. Zoni has a question. I have a question since it's not included in previous videos. I want to create a password reset request. Does Supabase handle the change auto, or should I recall the update user request? Let me give it a thought and answer you properly. Let's finish this comment thing, and then I'll jump into this. Thank you, Zoni, for asking the question. All right, nice. Let's try it out. So we've got the request in, where is it? Here. We've got the request here. Let's try it out. Testing. Let's reply. And nice. Yeah, that worked. Great. Now, the thing is that I think that, hold on. Interesting. Why do we have an empty coming here? 1 second. We've got 4 comments where the, oh, right, yeah, because I created that empty thing. The thing is that I don't know if we're using HTML to render this. Oh, yes, we are. Ah, good. Nice. Okay, let's delete this one. Nice. Great. Now, I want to make this real time, right? Because anytime that we create a new comment, I don't want to be to have to reload the page to see the comments like that. So let's go to the request where we're loading the comments, get post comments, and let's just enable real time. Where is it? Oh, here. Subscribe to real time. And now it should work. Do we have real time enabled? No, we don't. We don't have real time enabled, so it's probably not going to work. Let's try it. Another test. Reply. Yes, it is not working. It did create it, but it was not updated. And the reason why that is not updated is because we need to enable real time. Once real time is enabled, the table will broadcast any changes to authorized subscribers. You may also select which events to broadcast to subscribers on the database publication settings. All right, nice. Okay, real time is on. Let's see. Let's try it. What if, for example, I remove this? Is it going to be removed? It is not. See? Okay. It works by adding the comments, but not by removing them from the database, which I'll check why that happens. And also, why is this not being populated properly? Let me see. Get the post comments. We are getting this. We're getting the user ID, post ID, but we're not getting the profile. Interesting. Very interesting. Profiles. This looks like a Supabase bug. Yeah, so with normal request, this happens, but when it's not a normal request, it is not returning the data properly. So to avoid any issues, any weird things from Supabase, what I'm gonna do is just go for the safe, and it's that I'm going to disable real time. I'm fine with that. And instead of expecting Supabase real time to be returning the data properly, after submitting the form, after successfully submitting the form, I'm going to perform a request to get the comments again. So get the post comments. Only, only if the created comment was okay, like that. All right. So that means that after creating the post, hey, we are going to get the posts again from Supabase, and then the list is just re-rendered automatically. Better. This approach is better. And there's another thing that I want to do, and it's that I want to clear the quill editor in here after successfully creating the comment. So let's go to the quill.js documentation. I want to clear. How do I clear it? Selection, get context, get text, set context, set text, maybe with the set contents. Remove format? No. Text change, that those are events. Probably, oh, delete text. Deletes text from the editor, returning a delta, so representing the change. All right, what if I want to delete everything? Or maybe I can just say set contents. Or set text. Yeah, if I set text to an empty string, is that gonna work? Let's try it out. So let's go to Wiz, let's go to the event here, and let's do run a function, and that function will be v.quill set text, and that will be just an empty string like that. And also let's do that before requesting the comments again. And also let's do it only if the create command was okay. Okay, let's try it out. So here, another one. If we reply and successfully create a comment, we should see how the text goes away. Yay! All right. But now the thing is that it was not added. Huh. Creating the comment was fine. Then we set the text to empty. And then we get the post comments again. The post comments are not being. It is not performing the request. If I did the other way around, what about now? 3. Interesting. For some reason, if I empty the text from Quill, huh? I'm seeing some weird things here. Yeah, here's empty. So maybe the setting the text is not the right approach. Hold on, let me clear some of this stuff. We're getting too many comments. The idea is to make things production ready. That's why I'm digging a bit more into making this right. I'm sorry if this is a bit boring, but I want to make sure that it works properly. Okay, so we reply, and after replying, this time it worked. If I do another one, it works again. Another one, it stops working. Huh. Is it always the third time? Let's try it again. One, two, three. The third time it goes empty. Hmm. Hmm. Why is that? And why is that? Why is that? Why is that? Update the contents. Set contents. Update contents. Let me ask ChatGPT. Let's let's see. How do I clear the contents of a quell.js? Whoops. All right. This was weird. Of a quell.js instance editor instance. Let's see. To clear the contents of the quell.js editor instance, you can use the set contents method with an empty delta object. All right. So we pass. I'm sorry for the not zooming a bit like that. Let's try that approach. Thank you, ChatGPT. Okay, so instead of doing this, we're gonna set the contents to an empty array like that. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Hmm. 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 Trying to think. What could this be causing it? Oh, no. Get semantic HTML. No, that is fine. We get the post comments. Sorry, we create the comment, we get the post comments, and we do this. All right, let me check disabling this for a second. Hey, Gabe, why are you here? You should be taking vacations. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's working fine. So for some reason, Quell.js, watching from the shadows, Quell.js, for some reason, it is breaking after the third time that we do this. It is breaking, and I don't like it. So for now, I'm going to keep it like that because I don't want to keep you guys waiting until I fix this. But I'm going to look into this because I don't like it. But I want to move on to voting because otherwise we are not going to finish what was planned for today. So we kind of can create posts. That's good. We can open the post page. The only thing that it's missing now, it's adding reactions, liking or disliking. I think that for simplicity, we could do liking. I think that with liked is fine. Let's keep it simple for now and let's do likes. All right. So we want to define a table where we store the likes because right now we've got a table where we put the posts and we put the comments. Now we want to have another table that is called We probably want to do post like and comments like just in case to distinguish it, because the posts like are going to be pointing to a post, the comments likes are going to be pointing to a comment. Yeah. So let's do posts likes like that. And let's also do comments likes. Comments likes. And in here, we want to store a bunch of things. We want to store the ID. We want to store the user ID as well, so we know who did like the post. We also want to store the post ID, which is going to be pointing to the post ID, so we can connect it. And same thing for the comments. We want to have the user ID. We want to have the comment ID, and then we're going to be pointing that to the comment as well, like that. Glenn, hey, Glenn, good to have you here. Thank you for coming. We could have a single table. Um, yes, we could have a single table. I'm just wondering if in a future that could be a scaling issue, for the simple fact that we're going to be querying that table for getting the post likes. We're going to be getting the because I want, because if we've got a single table that does both things, let's imagine that we've got here a single table that it's something like, yeah, post, comments, and likes, right? And this table, we are going to have two fields. We're going to have the post ID and the comment ID, right? Because if it's a comment, we want to point it with the comment ID. If it's a post, we want to point it with the post ID. Because in Supabase, we want to define these fields as a reference field. This one would be pointing to the posts. This one would be pointing to the posts, like that. And this one would be pointing to the comments, like that. But now the problem is that because when we create a like, it's only going to be either. So it's either going to be post ID or comment ID. It's not going to be both, because you're not going to like with the same instance, you're not going to like the same comment and post. That means that these fields cannot be mandatory. They have to be nullable. And when doing reference fields, yeah, actually, I think that we can make them nullable. But technically, there could be an issue if we create one of those without pointing to neither post nor comment. And I don't like that much. I would rather to always have guaranteed that there is a post connected to it or a comment connected to it. What do you guys think? Because maybe I'm overthinking this too much. I'm always thinking about technical depth and issues scaling when building things. Also, when separating things in here, I think that it will be easier to manage the logic as well. For example, when we're loading the comments, we can simply do a joint query by including the comment in it. Sorry, not the comment, the likes in it. Um, hmm. How do Facebook do it? Well, probably Facebook is not using SQL and is using a different type of database, because social media has a very different requirements for connecting nodes and things like that. For comment likes, both post ID and comment ID should be required. No? Technically, no, because when you're liking a comment, that's fine. You don't need to know what post is it. The comment, it is connected to, right? So when you're liking a comment, that is connected to the comment, obviously. And the comment itself, it is connected to the post. So there's already a connection. It's not direct connection, but there is a connection. The comment knows where the post is, what post it belongs to. Hmm. Ah, I'm not sure, but I think that for simplicity, I'm gonna keep it in two different tables. Yeah, because also if we do index queries, things like that, I think that it will be way better if these things are separated. Great. All right, let's do that. But first of all, Zoni, I haven't forgotten about you. You had a question. Let me answer that question. So, Zoni asked before, I have a question. Since it is not included in previous videos, I want to create a password reset request. Does Supabase handle the change automatically, or should I recall the update user request? When doing a resetting a password, in here, you create a request in Supabase to, I think that it's send password reset. And when that happens, then the user receives the link. And I think that then, let me try to remember, how was that? I think that after that, send a password reset. How was that? Yeah. And after that, you have to update the user with the password, with a new password, like that. All right. So yeah, you have to do both things. First of all, you have to send the password reset, and then when the user opens the add new password, insert new password, then you call the update user request and change the password for that user. Right. You have to do this two-step process. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. All right, great. So let's quickly do this. Let's start with posts likes. So I'm going to create a new table. That's going to be posts likes. Row level security, yes. We're going to have the ID created at Sukumar. If there are blocks, for example, in the same project with its own comments and likes, then comment likes would be a problem. Or am I wrong? If there are blocks, for example, in the same project with its own comments, well, not really. It depends on if we're using the same comments table to store for the blocks, which could be. In that case, we probably will want to rename the table to be something like post comments and block comments. And then the post comments are pointing to the posts, the block comments are pointing to the blocks, block posts or whoever. So yeah, it's just simply creating a different table and pointing each one to the right place. Okay, so this first of all, it's going to be a user ID, so we know who liked. Then we're going to do a post ID, like that, and I think that's it. So let's add relationships, and we are going to do a relationship with the profiles first. Actually, two things. We want to start doing a relationship with the user ID. So the user ID, it's pointing to the user ID, like that. And also, we add another relationship for the profiles because we have a public table that is reflecting the private user table only with the exposable data. So the profiles, we want to point the user ID to the public profiles ID, which is the same ID as the users. If you want to see me building the functions and triggers of the database where we mirror the profiles based on the users, I think that you can check that in the previous live stream or two live streams before. Um, Essentially, we built a system so anytime that there's an update in a user, the profiles table it's also updated with the same data, so it's a mirror of the table from the users, right? So we've got this relationship, and last thing, we want to do the post ID. So the post ID, it is pointing to the post ID. Done. Save. Great. Nice. Okay, so if we jump in here, now I want to add some way of liking this post. So I'm going to try, maybe we can add a div down here and we can do this post, or maybe, yeah, post controls, which is gonna have some flags. Maybe we can put it on the right like that, maybe in the center. And in here, I want to add a like button. That like button should do two things. It should be a button so like we can click on it and it's gonna perform a like. And also it should display the amount of likes that the post has. And I think that it would be cool if also we can hover over that and it displays the who liked the post as well. We'll see. Yeah, I like it. Okay, so let's add maybe another div. Let's do like component. And in this like component, we want to have, first of all, a custom element that's going to be a button of type button. And this button will have a heart icon. So heart icon SVG. For example, this one, let's add it. Let's do a solid one. Yeah, this one. SVG. Yeah. Nice. Let's see. We've got this, but I want. Hold on. Because I like to clean up the SVGs. But we can do that. Yeah, all right. Let's do it in Webflow. So we've got the SVG like that. So let's copy this. Let's go in Webflow. Let's add an embed. And let's put the SVG. But I don't want to fill it like that. I want to fill it with current color. I don't want to have a hard-coded width nor a hard-coded height like that. Done. And this should be like button, not list button, sorry. Like button. Nice. With a width of maybe 1 rem, not 10 rem, 1 rem. 1 rem. Oh. Oh, no. I don't want to add. Sorry. I want this to be a like icon. And that's where I'm adding the 1 rem. Now we're talking. And 1 rem maybe as well. Maybe you can do this. This is not really looking very good. Let's do 2 rem. That's better, I guess. Yeah, something like that. Why not? Okay, so the like button, it shouldn't have any padding really, because we want to just click on this, and also it shouldn't have any background because I want to click on the icon itself. So let's not do any background like that. Let's add some color in it. So let's do red. And when hovering over it, we could do, for example, something redder, something like that. Nice. So when we hover, look at that. Nice. Also, we probably want to do. Thank you, Glenn, for coming. Nice. We probably want to do a is active class so we can reflect when the user has already clicked on it, right? And if the user has clicked on it, then we want to remove the like. We need to add the system not only for adding the like, but for unliking it. So when it's active, let's change that to even redder. Hmm, maybe green. I don't know. Probably that's not the proper way of doing it, but just for fun, we're gonna keep it like that. Okay. So if it is active, it's gonna be green. If it is not active, it's gonna be no. It's the other way around, right? It is not red when it's not clicked, and when you click on it, it becomes red, right? That's how it's supposed to be. I think so. So all right. Let's do it properly. So let's do it first. Maybe some grayish thing like that. Yeah, and then on hover, it can be this, and then when it's active, it's gonna be red, like that. Better. Nice. Okay, and then also we want to have a little text. So let's do a text block that will display the amount of likes. So let's do one like. So this like button, like component, let's make it flex. Let's do a bit of smaller text, maybe 0.75. Whoops, 0.75. Mm, yeah, why not? Something like that. Where is usually a text? On the right or on the left? I think that it's on the right. I think so. All right. I think that's fine like that. I want to say. Yeah. All right. Works for me. Let's add some margin bottom as well. Margin bottom. Margin medium. Nice. All right. Let's try it out. Oh, hold on. There's one extra thing that we need to do, and it's that we need to define this as a Wized element. So Wized post like button. And here, Wized post like count. Nice. Great. So Kumar, an alternative would be using two icons, default and liked, and then conditionally show and hide. Yeah, probably. So one icon it's maybe like an outline with no filling, and then the other one it's filled. That would also make more sense as well. Yeah. But remember that here we are doing shitty designs because I'm not a designer. So, first of all, what we want to do is when we are loading the post, we also want to load the likes for the post, which means that in the post likes, we need to add a row level security policy because otherwise we're not going to be able to query it. And this row level security policy, we want to create a policy that enables read access for all users. That is absolutely fine. And we're going to create another policy that for inserting, we only allow inserting when the user ID matches. So this policy assumes that your table has a column user ID and allows users to insert rows which the user ID column matches their ID, exactly what we want to use. So let's use this one. Save the policy. Great. We are now good to start reading and creating likes. So when getting the post like that, we also want to get the likes. And that is coming. That is coming. I think that, no, not likes, sorry, it's post likes. Posts likes. And from the post likes, for now, let's do this. Categories, profiles. I think that I said it right. Let's try it out. Okay, so we've opened this and we try to query it. All right, so there are no post likes. Makes sense. What if I create a like from me? What if I create a like from me? Now I'm thinking that we should probably add some other validation to make sure that a user cannot like the same post twice. Hmm. We don't want the user to be able to like the same post twice. So we'll probably want to do something in the policy. Let me see. We've got the user ID, we've got the post ID. So we should do something so there cannot be two columns that have the same user ID and post ID at the same time. Which I don't think we can do it through is unique, because then it would only allow the user to like one post and it would only the post to be liked once. That's not good. So we probably want to do something in the policies. Let's make a quick AI question. So table editor, post likes, let's go to level security policies. All right, let's ask a question. So I have a table called post likes, posts likes. The table has two columns. Well, the table has a column called user ID and a column called post ID. How do I make sure that there cannot be two more than one row that has there cannot be two or more rows with the same user ID and post ID. They can have one of them, but not both, because that would mean that a user has liked the same post twice. Let's see. Let's see how good the AI assistant from Supabase is. Okay, so it's going to add a constraint. Oh, we can add a constraint that says that it has to be user ID and post ID unique. Oh, I didn't know that we could do that in Postgres. To ensure that there cannot be more than one row with the same user ID and post ID in the post likes table, you can create a unique constraint on these two columns. This will prevent duplicate entries for the same user liking the same post. All right, let's try it out. Yeah, let's run it. Success. Okay. Nice. Do we see something here that mentions this? Oh, I don't want this to be nullable. I don't want this to be nullable as well. Let's try it. So if I try to insert a row, let's do user ID. It's going to be me. So this, and then post ID, it's going to be the one that we've got in here, which is welcome to our community forum. Welcome to our community forum. All right, can I create the first one? I can. Nice. What if I try to create another one with the same user ID and the same post ID? I should get an error if we did it right. So user ID, same one, post ID, same one. Can I create it? Oh, look at that. Nice. So duplicate key violates unique constraint, unique user post. Love it. Great. So now we cannot vote for the same post twice. Look at that. Maybe now you're starting to see why making a unique table for this was a better approach, probably, because we can add these type of constraints and it's easier to just keep things organized. Great. Nice. If I call this again, now we should see how, hey, nice, we're getting post likes. Great. Okay. Um, that is fine for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to here display. Maybe we can get also the user ID. So yeah, hold on. Get the post. Not I. Do I want the ID? Maybe I want the ID. I don't know. But let's also gather the user ID because with this we can check if the user has voted this like that. Okay, and then in here, I want to display the amount of likes. So the way that we're going to display the amount of likes is going to be by saying, hey, display some text. And this text, I want this to be post likes, length. Whoops, length. Nice. Yeah. So as you can see now, this says, all right, we've got one like on this post. And I want to update this button to say add a CSS class of isActive only if the post likes, so the post likes, some of it, so post like, some post like user ID, it's equals to r.getUser.data.id, like that. Was that right? Oh, user.id, sorry. Data.user.id. Nice. And as you can see now, this is set to active because I was the one who voted for it. If I remove this, let's delete this, and we refresh. Now there is no like that. Nice. So the last missing piece here is that when we click on the button, we want to like the post. When we click again on the button, we want to unlike the post. So we want to remove this, which means that in the auth policies, we also want to create another policy that enables the delete for users based on the user ID. So only me as a user can remove the like. Nice. All right, so let's do it super quick because I know that it's already the time to end the live stream, but I want to finish this and then we can wrap this up for today. So let's do a request that it's gonna be like a post. Let's do create like post like. Let's just call it like post and that's going to be in the post. The app is going to be Supabase. We're going to do a create item, posts likes, and the data will be the user ID, which is me. So let's grab that from the data store, user ID, nice. And also I want to do the post ID, so post ID, which is coming from the parameters, like that, nice. So I should be able to like the post now. No value in column post ID or relation post likes violates the not null constraint. Huh. Post ID. But I'm including it. Let me try it again. All right. I needed to refresh the page. Okay, cool. So the post was created, the like was created, fine. What if I try to create it again? Perfect. We cannot create it again. Good. Nice. And let's do another one to unlike the post. So I'm going to duplicate. No, I'm not going to duplicate. I'm going to create another request, and it's going to be unlike a post. And in that case, it's going to be Supabase. It's going to be the lead an item, and the item will be posts ID. And we're going to need a record ID. So the way that we can do this for now, although it's not really scalable, uh, ideally, because the easiest thing that we could do is try to get the post ID from, not the post ID, sorry, the posts likes ID. Get it from the request from the post, but that's not really scalable, is it? Because I mean, if there's a few hundred likes, it's fine, but if there is 20,000 likes, that's not really the best approach to do this, because we'd be loading 20,000 post likes in here. I'm gonna keep it simple for now, but I think that this in the future we should tackle this. Yeah. So what we would have to do is try to get the post like ID. So which would be post likes. Whoops. I messed up again. Sorry. Unlike a post. Here. 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 And get the post, get the post, get the post, get the post. Here. Post likes. So we want to find the post likes where the post like user ID is equals to the user ID, like that, right? Yeah, this will work, but it's not really scalable, so we should do something about it in the future. All right. Okay, so and I'll copy this because we will need this in a second. So when we click on this button, submit, when we click on this button, we want to add an action, perform a request, like the post, but only if there is no like already existing, like that. This is for trying to find the like. And then also we want to unlike the post, request unlike the post. Again, conditionally, only if there is an existing posts like that. I know that's going to work. I'm not a big fan of this, but it is going to work. And also here I'm missing that this should be expecting the ID of the post likes. Let's try it out. So if I click on this, did it unlike it? No, doesn't do anything. Ah, not submit. Sorry, click. My bad. We want to do this on click. Okay, so relation public post likes ID does not exist in the unlike post. Unlike post, unlike post. Oh, yeah, because it should be posts likes. It's posts likes, right? Post likes, yes. Okay, let's try it again. Done. All right, so we unliked it, and then now, did we like it? Yes, we did like it. Nice, great. So good. After clicking, we are liking or unliking. The only missing thing is that we want to revalidate the post data. We want to get the post likes again. So we're going to perform a request and get the post again, like that, which means that now we should see how, look at this. Yeah, nice. So we can like and we can unlike. Yeah, nice. All right. Well, as I mentioned, it is not very scalable, this system, because we are literally loading all the likes from here. So we're getting an array of likes. And that's fine if you've got 10, 20, 100, 1,000 even likes. But if you've got 50,000 likes, that's not really scalable. And we should probably think about a different system. But honestly, I don't think we're going to be getting 50,000 likes on this system. So I think that we are good for now. It's a matter of trade-offs, I think. Great. All right. So for the next live stream, what I'm going to do is implement the liking system for the comments. So each comment again will be able to like or unlike. All right. And then after that, we've got some other tweaks to do. As I mentioned, I want to add a create a post from the categories in here. Then after that, we can also potentially go into the profile page and add an activity section so we can see the posts that the user made, the posts that the user liked, the posts that the comments that the user liked. There's a bunch of things that we can do here. So as you can see, a forum brings in a lot of work. It's not easy to build a forum, but we've done quite some good work so far. I like it. I like it. Nice. So for today, this is it. Thank you everyone for staying. And I really wish that you have a good weekend. If you're watching this now or close to now, next Friday, we're coming with the next session of just continuing building things. If not, just see you in the next video that you're about to click right now. Bye all. Thank you.